Hello everyone. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Joey. If you're watching on Facebook Live, I would love for you to like and follow my page. If you're watching replay, same request. If you're watching on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the video, and I hope you do. We're going to make a really cute, and it's an easy, fun fold today. It's a little taco pop-up card. So I have to first get all my technology going, and hopefully I'm live in the right place. That's always a good thing. I have my iPad in front of me where I can see your comments, and if I can't, because once I turn my phone down, I can't see the comments. Okay, I see myself there. Then one more thing has to get going, and that is my laptop here. And so once I get all that going, because that's where I see your comments. If I don't have my laptop, I can't see the comments. And lately my laptop has kind of been a little bit hard to work with. It sometimes freezes more. Oh, there's my friends coming on. Hi, Chris. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Liz. All right, perfect. All right, so now I think I am live in the right place. That's always a good thing. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. That's so sweet. All righty, I think we're ready to get going. Please excuse the mess. I'm back at me. I'm creating my Be Creative Club class for this month. It is the lighting your way. And I was in the middle of it, and I picked up everything and kind of stashed it, and then I came back and got ready my Facebook Live stuff out. So it's a little chaotic, but then it's usually like that here in the stamp studio. Alrighty, let's go ahead. I have to click a toolbar here. So I'll click this, and then I will go upside down, but you will be right side up when you are facing down. Hopefully that's going to be pretty close to accurate. Looks like we're not too bad. That's good. Alrighty, so what we're about here today is, hi Diane. Oh good, I'm glad. Hi Kelly. I forgot to add this last week to my video, and it's the whole reason I'm doing the 6 weeks of birthdays. Well, not the whole reason, but one of the reasons, and that is every week I send out a free tutorial to my newsletter subscribers, and it's going to be what we're making today. Now, obviously, you already have the video tutorial, so you can come back and check that. But if you're a newsletter subscriber, you'll get everything printed out for you so you can copy it and take it to your craft space. I list all the supplies for everything. I list the number, the ordering number, and the price of everything. And then I give detailed descriptions, and this one has a lot of photos. So, because sometimes especially with a fun fold card, you need some photos. So, if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, I will put that link in here in the comments. And if you're on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, I will put it in the video description below the video where there's that little caret that you click. So let me find my subscribe link, and I'll just copy that quick and paste it in the comments. I don't put it in the video description because YouTube doesn't really like to see that, so then they cut down on how many people they show the video to. They want you to stay on Facebook, and when I give you a link that goes away from Facebook, then they're like, we don't like that too much. Alrighty, this is what we're going to use today. Taco Fiesta. My friend Erica Serwin, this is her $1 Million stamp set. And I was anxious to get busy and create with it. So we're going to do a cute card this week. And then we'll have another Taco Fiesta card next week. Yeah, another one next week. There's two. So the 6 weeks of birthdays, this is the third week of the 6 weeks of birthdays projects. And so two were with the gnome, those are done. Two are with the Taco Fiesta, that's today and next week. And the last two are with the that kitty that's in the cupcake set. I should know the name of that. So I better look it up since I'm going, what is best day? So next the last 2 weeks are our best day. But this week, this is what I was talking about when I said the kitty and the cupcake. It's on page 67 of your spring mini catalog. If you don't have one of these and you don't have a demonstrator, please contact me. I'm happy to work with you to get a catalog to you. Then today we're working on page 18. So it's called Lighting the Way. Is that what we're doing? No, that's not what we're doing. That's the class I'm creating for this month. Follow my email if you'd like to see what I'm offering for my class. That's another good reason to subscribe to my newsletter. It's on page 48, Taco Fiesta. So this is what we're working with today. There are no dies that go with this. It's the stamp set. So let's go ahead and get started here. I did do quite a bit ahead of time for this because there's a lot of detail on it, and I have to kind of get my act together here. Okay. I designed this card last week, but then I haven't looked at it since then. So I have to get out all of our parts, all my bits and pieces. We'll probably do this part first, and then we'll get out the rest of this. So for now, I'm going to set this stuff aside. And let's do some embossing first. So embossing, heat embossing, is something I don't do very often in my in-person classes just because it's a little bit time consuming. And when I have a lot of people in a class, you know, they have to share materials. So sometimes that embossing is just that one extra step that takes a little bit longer. So I like to do it on my Facebook Lives or my online or my to-go classes because that's a place I can use it. Okay, so our embossing powders, they come in a group of 3. So this is the basics pack, and it's called Basic Stampin' Emboss Powders. And there's white, there's black, and there's clear. We're going to pull out the white. How many of you that are watching like to do heat embossing or do it? Or if you've never done it before, I'd like to know that too. So I didn't even tell you what I was doing. So that little pad I had here, this is called an embossing buddy. And you just wipe it on your cardstock. And it's a little bit powdery, so it leaves a little bit of a very light residue there. And that is to keep your embossing powder from sticking to where you don't really want it to stick. So you also need Versamark ink for this. It's a sticky ink, and it's going to hold on to, oh, I didn't get my greeting out. We've got to get the greeting out. I mounted up some of my stamps, but not that one. And this one is going to say, Holy Guacamole, it's your birthday. So let's see, which one is that? I think it's this one. Nope, this one. Sometimes they're the clear ones are kind of hard to read upside down. Kathy, you like to emboss? You know, Kathy, that is a common thing I've heard from people, that once they saw embossing, they were hooked. Or once they did it and tried it, they were hooked on stamping. And Kelly, you like to, but forget when you're trying to be creative. Honestly, sometimes I don't think about it when I'm trying to be creative either, because usually I have stamps and ink and I'm just going for that. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up really well. Remember, when you're inking up your stamp, you don't want to shove the stamp into the ink pad. You just lightly tap it. Multiple taps is way better than one big shove. Those are words of teaching from Joey today. Little taps are better than one big shove. Now, since it is sticky ink and I'm stamping on colored cardstock, I'm kind of holding it down for a few extra seconds. I probably didn't need to hold it that long. I didn't need to hold it that long, but just for the sake of example. Then you want to sprinkle it right away. Now, oh, am I in the picture? Maybe not. Okay. Sprinkle it right away again. And actually right now, the way you buy emboss all these not the embossing powder, but the embossing buddy and the tray. And then I've got a little brush here too. Those are all, oh, and the tweezers. Those are all in a kit that comes all together online. Well, it's in the, oh, is it in the big catalog? It's a kit. I can't say for sure whether it's, I think it's just online because it was in the holiday catalog. So I don't think it's in this catalog. Good question. I should have looked that up before I started talking about it. But if you have a question about it, just contact me and let me know. So now you can let this sit for a while. This is not going to be a problematic. But you can't stamp it in Versamark ink and then let it sit. You have to get the embossing powder on it. And say you're doing multiple projects. It's going to be noisy for a moment. Say you're doing multiple projects and you want to heat emboss all at once. You can do that as long as you stamp your greeting and then, sometimes I heat it from underneath too. Stamp your greeting and then get your embossing powder on all your greetings and then emboss everything at one time. You can do that, but you just have to make sure you're not letting it sit without having the embossing powder on it, because the Versamark ink will kind of dry up. And this is our tool. I forgot to talk about this. This is our heat tool. There's a one, which is oops, there's two settings. There's one, which is a little bit lower, and two. I'm impatient, so I usually go to two because it's faster. And then ours is covered, has this plastic barrel that covers that metal part gets really, really hot. So there are embossing tools out there that have that metal part that isn't covered. In fact, as far as I know, ours might be the only one that is covered with a little plastic guard there to keep it safe. Okay, I've got to grab a punch. I'm gonna grab it. And this is called a pick your punch. No, that's not it. I'm going to stick this in here. I should have done this first. I forgot. Okay, and then I usually turn it over so I can make sure my cardstock is centered. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, I think this is going to be too long, actually. Hi, Christy. I've been thinking about you. Embossing is a wow technique, that's for sure. I think I cut this too long, actually, kids, so we're going to keep whittling it down a little bit. Still checking to see that it's even. That's a little bit better. And then this one, I think I'm just going to, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Sometimes it's hard to get it in the punch when it's this short. Let's see if it's going to work okay to get it down there. Oh, looks like we can get it down there. I'm trying to get it where you can see it. Doing it for video, you know, is always a little bit trickier because I can't get a hold of it very well. Okay, so we're going to try this again. I'm going to put it all the way down to the guide. And since it's black, I don't know that you can see it very well. But yeah, that's better. Okay, so that's not exactly centered. So rather than try and punch this again, I'm just going to follow this with my scissors and make it just a little bit shorter. You know, I'm looking at my sample and I think I just goofed. I think it was supposed to be long because we had to fit all of our tacos on it. Darn. Okay, well, if you haven't embossed before, you're going to get another lesson in embossing. So let me grab a piece of cardstock. And let me look at I'll look at my guide here and see how big it's supposed to be. Sorry guys, This is probably going to be back here. No? Okay, well, rather than keeping to take your time, oh, here we go. Oh, stamp a scrap of basic white cardstock. I didn't even put the measurements in there. I'll go back and change that, and I'll put in some measurements. So this is, I think, about 3/4 of an inch wide. So let's start over. Let's start. Okay, so if you missed something on the first time through, you can catch it this time. So we've got, I think I said 3/4. So 3/4. And the reason we have to, I would not normally take the time to redo it, but the reason we have to redo it is because our taco and our avocado and all of our little, and our guacamole, they all have to sit on this strip of black. That's why it was so long. But, you know, senior brain here. I made this about a week ago and haven't thought about it since, so I apologize for that. Take your Versamark ink. Let's go ahead and grab our greeting again. Tap, tapping, not squishing. Here we go. I'm getting in the middle of that. Okay. And back to our embossing powder. Good thing about this greeting is it doesn't take very long to heat it up and heat set it. Back to learning to emboss. So many years ago, my sister-in-law wanted to stamp, and she invited me to a party. I don't remember very much about it. What I do remember is the person teaching the class didn't have a heat tool. So we were heating our embossing powder over the toaster. I don't recommend that, but one or two of you were saying that that's what hooked you on stamping, and it hooked my sister-in-law Carla on stamping for sure. So, but you know, I didn't get hooked on stamping with that. I didn't get started with stamping until quite a few years after that. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to actually measure my greeting and see what we need it to be. So it needs to be just about 3 inches on here. So I'm gonna guess at this on my trimmer and get it down to, this is what we talked about, how to not have to, you know, cut your greeting or any of your panels on your card like this. In other words, to know what size you need before you start. Okay, I think this is pretty close. We're gonna go with it. And we're just gonna grab, instead of the punch, we're gonna grab our scissors, and we're just going to have confidence that we can do a good flag with our scissors. So all you do for this is you're gonna just cut straight into your piece, and I'm looking at the other side trying to get it about the same. And then you just cut from the corner to the top of that center cut, and then from the other side, same thing, okay? So that is a faster way to do it than the first way I showed you. Although a lot of people like to use a punch because, you know, it's more precise than hand cutting, but still, I can't. Oh, thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it. All right, we're gonna try this again. Now, we need a taco. So I'm going to grab a little piece of scrap paper and my stamp and my Memento black ink. Now, you might be relieved to know that I already stamped and colored the top, or we have a avocado on this card, and we have a bowl of guacamole. And I already did do that so that it will save a little time. Let's go ahead and do our taco. I'm going to use Daffodil Delight. So saffron would work too. Any light yellow would work fine for a taco. And I'm just going to use my light one first. I'm not going to do the world's most beautiful coloring today. Just going to get this taco colored yellow and be good with it. If I was really being careful, I would make more circles than I'm making right now. I am going to kind of leave it lighter in the middle. Then I'm going to take my darker one and just do a little bit of shading. So Stampin' Up, the artist has already shown you right here where there might be a little bit of darkness or shadow. I'm going to kind of come up like this and make a V and then kind of come down there. As I said, I'm not the world's best colorer. I don't mind coloring when it's small pieces and when there's not a lot of it. I'm not a big fan of sitting and coloring for hours. I like to stamp and pretty much get my card done. And if I'm coloring, it seems to be delaying that. All right, then let's get some lettuce and tomatoes in our taco. So I'm just gonna make the decision that this is lettuce. These kind of wavy ones. So the ones are kind of wavy and the others are more of a circle. So I'm gonna call those tomatoes. And I think that's really what they're supposed to be. Where are my taco eaters out there? Do we like tacos? I like tacos. We have a place pretty close to us that has Taco Tuesday. Actually, it's new. We haven't even gotten tacos on Taco Tuesday yet from that little place. But it's close and we want to try it. Tacos are one thing I do make sometimes. I'm not the world's most avid cook, but I make taco salad quite a bit. So what I do for taco salad is I just brown hamburger with a taco seasoning and obviously put it on lettuce, and then we just I don't know what the right word for this would be. We just smash up corn chips and sprinkle them over our salad and put tomatoes on it and then a little dressing, and that is our taco salad. It's not very detailed, pretty straightforward, but we like it once in a while for something taco-ish. My husband doesn't really love the shape of a taco shell because he feels like it just gets messy and it gets, you know, it drips out, etc., etc. Okay, we're gonna finish the front, the main part of the card, and then I'm gonna show you how to do that cute little pop-up I've been telling you about. So this is a piece of basic white thick cardstock, which is nice and sturdy for your card base. And then I'm taking a piece of, this is Bright's Designer Series paper. All the colors of the Bright's cardstock are in this designer paper. So that's 12 colors and you get 4 of each. So that's 48 pieces. They're 6 by 6. So you get 48 pieces of all the Bright's colors cardstock. Then I have already cut this. I cut this out of the Scalloped Contours dies. It's this die. I didn't mean to actually do some die cutting on camera. We're not going to do it just because I took extra time to have to redo my greeting. But I show die cutting on every video. So if you're in my video section on my either my YouTube channel or my Facebook page, just go into the video section. You'll see me die cutting pretty much something in every card. All right, so let's take some liquid glue here. And I'm going to, this is going to go like this. This I think is about 1.25 inches by 5 1/4. Yes, 1.25 inches by 5 1/4. But again, if you're on my email list, you'll get all the measurements for this. So you don't really have to worry too much about that part. So, because you'll have it all written out. And that'll come later in the week. Usually Friday, sometimes Saturday, but it comes near the end of the week for the video. I think I'm going, this is Poppy Parade. It's not red. I don't know how it's coming across on the video. And then this is Daffodil Delight, again, out of the bright designer paper. That does happen sometimes. If it isn't dry, it'll move, which is one good thing actually about Tombow glue, that you have a few minutes to kind of maneuver it. A few minutes might be an exaggeration. You have maybe a couple minutes. Then we'll go ahead and put this. If you've watched me very long, you know this is one of my favorite. I try to not do it super often, but this is one of my favorite dies, and I use it like this pretty often. I'm afraid it's going to go away. Although this set of dies, Stampin' Up! Has told us was the most popular set of dies sold last year, so maybe it'll stick around. All right, so let's get out our other bits here. Let's see how we're going to do this. I have to kind of think through how I did it. All right, I think I took this piece. This is glimmer paper. This is the 20, 22, 24 in color glimmer paper. And I just cut it in strips. This one I think is a 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to angle the ends like this. I might end up cutting them a little bit shorter. I don't think I cut these to size. And this is the not Granny Apple Green. This would be Parakeet Party. And this would be Sweet Sorbet. So even though I used Poppy Parade and Granny Apple Green here, I think they blend really well. I think they're okay. So this is going to go down kind of like this, and then this is going to go down kind of over the top of it. And I think, let's see, let's get this down first. Go ahead and, you have to build a card from the bottom up usually. So when you're looking at your sample, either on Pinterest or a card you have at home that you're copying, you have to look at it kind of backwards. How does it go from the bottom up rather than from the top down? I'm sure you know that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. I'm centering it to be pretty even between those two sides. And then I think I'm going to trim these just a touch shorter. Actually, I want that darker red to show, so I'm going to come in on this end. There, that looks pretty good. And then this might be okay still. Let's see. And I'll trim it just a little bit. I think it's okay. Pretty much okay. Can you see the perfectionism coming out? Oh my gosh. Sometimes I just have to say, Joanne is my name. My nickname is Joey. Joanne, just move on. Quit dinking around with the same thing that you've been dinking around with for a while. Okay, so this needs to probably still be a little bit shorter. Let's go here. Any perfectionists? Do I have any perfectionist buddies out there? Or are all you guys a little more happy-go-lucky and come see, come saw? I bet I've got at least a couple of you out there that are not too much different than me. We still need to trim these up just a touch. Okay, that should be good. And I'm going to kind of crisscross these. So I'm going to only put my adhesive across the center. I'm not going to the ends of this because I'm going to eventually stick a lot of stuff down on top of this. Whoops, this has to go kind of like this. Because I'm not sticking that down yet, because this has to go here. And actually, I didn't stick that down yet, so I'm gonna go like this with the bottom of my greeting. I'm putting adhesive at the bottom of my greeting, and then I'm gonna line my greeting up with pretty much with this green strip, kind of like so. Sorry, I know you probably can't see that very well yet, like that. Kathy, you're a perfectionist. Barb's online. I'm a perfectionist. Kathy says she appreciates the instruction sheets. Thank you. Kathy, that is so nice to hear, because so often I'm sending things out, you know, just I feel like I'm kind of sending them into the universe, and I'm not sure if people are liking it. I do get people that say, oh, thank you for, you know, such and such, I really like that. Or even when you comment on my videos and you say, thanks for showing me this, or, you know, any of that. But even to hear that you enjoy the written tutorials, because my friends, I'm not complaining at all. I'm happy to do it. I choose to do it, but it does take time. You know, it's, I have to take my photos, and then let's kind of go like this. Take my photos and edit my photos, and I think that's what I want to do. We're going to keep going with this. So our little taco is going to go here. Let's get some dimensionals. And I'm happy to I do it to serve my customers and my friends who are on my newsletter list. So I committed to it many months ago, and I've been very consistent. I'm proud of myself for that. I'm not really gonna stick this down too much yet. We're just gonna make it a lower arrangement here. And then I've already done my little avocado and my bowl of guacamole. Oh, you know what? We forgot to, we can't, wait, whoa, we gotta do something here. I'm gonna peel these off. When you don't stick it down too tight, you can usually go back and gently peel off your adhesive. We need a little face on this guy. I totally forgot his face, because all these little, okay, let me think, get my brain involved. There are 4 little pieces, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little, hope that's not too glary, faces. So I've already stamped our little avocado and our guacamole with their faces, but I left the taco to do with you guys. Liz, you like to use stamps that are forgiving. I know. Yes, they're the best. A lot of the flower stamps are pretty forgiving. I didn't get that eye very good. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab my Stampin' Up black marker, and where that eye didn't really stamp very well, I'm going to just kind of just do a couple little pokes, and I think that looks better. There we go. I think that looks good. So don't forget about your black Stampin' Up markers. You can even buy these individually in the book, I think. We used to be able to. I guess now that I'm saying that, I'm not 100% sure if the black Stampin' Up marker is able to be gotten individually. Now we've got our faces, so that's much, much better. I looked at my taco and thought, what the heck? That doesn't look right. But the little faces just add so much cuteness, don't they? Super cute. And then we'll put our guacamole next, and then our avocado will be last. I'm not sticking this down too hard, because looks like our taco has to move a little, and our guacamole has to move a little. Whoops, that's stuck. Sometimes your adhesive does stick before you really want it to. And that's why I had to redo. I had to have enough space, width on my greeting, so that's why I had to redo it. I got carried away with my trimming. Alrighty, so then we're gonna stick this, and I put the little hat on the avocado. So we're gonna stick him. He's gonna be kind of the center of attention. Isn't that cute? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the front of this card, and then I'll show you how to do the inside. So I'm grabbing my black and white ribbon. Oh, by the way, too, if you make put in a $35 order this week, you will get the card supplies for this card. So I'll do the die cutting. I won't be able to send the stamp images, but I'll send you all of the card parts for this for free as a thank you. And if you put in a $50 order, I'll also include a pack of the basic matte dots. And we're going to use those on the card in a moment so you can see what they are if you don't know what they are. It was my gift last week too. So what I'm doing for my monthly gift is there's just one per person. So now you can get the card supplies, but as far as the embellishment that I'm offering for free, that's going to be one per person per month. Alrighty, there we go for that. And then these are the classic matte dots. This is my gift this week. There's white, which you can't see very well, white, vanilla, gray, and black. But both the white and the vanilla you can color with your markers. Now today, I did that last week, but today I'm not coloring. We're going to just stick on these little dots here, and then we'll get to the inside of our card, the pop-up part. Now you could do that part first. I just didn't today. So there's that. Okay, let me show you how easy the inside of this is. So what I did was I took, this is your regular, oh, there's a little dot that came off of my sample card. I'm going to take that off and put it on my sample. There we go. So now this I think is the simplest way. So this is a piece of basic white, just not the thick. It's just regular basic white. This is what you use to stamp on 90% of the time. I'm going to go ahead and crease my fold. And then what I'm going to do is just take my trimmer, and I'm going to trim off a 4 to 4. So can you see it? I know it's glary. I can see how glary it is. So here's the 4. I'm moving it over to the 4. And I'm going to cut this so it's just 1/4 of an inch shorter than 4 1/4, which is our full card base. In the US, I know it's different for the UK if you happen to be watching from the UK. All right, then I'm going to go over to 5 1/4 and then just cut it this way. Now, in my directions, my PDF, I will give you the whole details. Oh, Kathy, thank you. Kelly, I get to be perfect because I'm the example. You get to not be perfect because you're the copier. Well, there's something to that too. All right, my friends, here's the super easy part. I mean, it's super easy so far anyway, isn't it? I'm going to turn it towards me because I need to do it that way in order to fold it. All I'm going to do, there's no like perfection to this part. I'm going to fold this down until this side is perpendicular to my graph paper. Does that make sense? So I'm going to try, and again, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm trying to kind of look at my graph paper and then kind of get this folded down so this is pretty much perpendicular, which it isn't right at this moment. So let's pull this up a little, and that's not too bad. I think that's pretty close. We're going to call that good. Have your bone folder handy. If you don't have a bone folder, you should get one because they're a basic tool and you'll be really glad you have it. So can you see how this is? So I've got my card kind of squared up here, and then I'm trying to kind of eye it. It's not going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect to do what we want to do. Okay, so now you have this. You have this folded down. You have this. So you're going to open your card. And this is what you have on the inside. So you're going to fold this down. Of course, it doesn't want to, oh, let's do it like this. So we'll fold this down, and then you can see how this is going to fold in like this. Okay? See how that works? This is what it looks on the outside. This is what it looks like on the inside. All right, now, before we get too far, we're going to go ahead and stamp our inside greeting. I did not do a good job of getting my stamps mounted ahead of time. That perfectionism part of me really hates to not have one class done when I'm trying to design another. I mean, when I have a, does that make sense? To have two sets of supplies out. So we're going to do Spectacular in Memento Black. What I'm trying to say, I don't think I really even completed that sentence. I don't like to have to quit one project or class if I'm not completely done with it to go on to another project. So this morning I was really trying hard to get my Lighting the Way class done, and it just wasn't coming together. I just wasn't getting it finished up, so I didn't get this quite as organized as I thought maybe. All right, now we have some cute little, I'm going to call these candies out of a, something's on my glass block. I'm going to call this candies out of the piñata. And then I'm going to grab my Poppy Parade. My Poppy Parade ink, and let's get that stamped. Okay. So I would love to see, if you guys make this card, I would love to see what you come up with. So, you know, just hashtag me on it or post it on my page. If you're not part of, you can post on my my group page. I think you can post, yeah, I'm sure you can, on this Create with Joey page, or you can also post in my Create with Joey Stampers group. That's my creative community, where people post their cards too. All right, now here's the cute inside pop-up part. So to save time, I went ahead and I stamped 2 more tacos. I didn't put faces on them. Maybe we should do that. I don't think I did that in my sample, but we're going to do it on this one. Let's grab that little face back, or that little mustache face. So whatever you put at the top of your card, you need 2 of. And I'll show you why and how we're going to do that. Okay, we've got our cute little faces there. Then, now what I'm going to do is take one of these and I'm going to fold it and make sure that's dry. I'm going to fold it in half, okay? Again, there's no really rhyme or reason to this. I'm just trying to get it folded in half, so I'm creasing it. And now what I'm going to do is pop on a little bit of adhesive at the bottom of this. Just at the bottom of my taco. And then I'm going to put this, oops, I just got that glue all over Tarnation, but we'll go with it. Okay, so let's go like this. It could have gone even up a little, and it's going to bend like this. So what I do, I know this is the kind of dicey part. You want to go ahead and bend that. So you kind of have to work with it a little bit because your glue is going to dry. I mean, it's going to be, you know, movable to begin with. And then I don't really like the way that's folding, so I'm going to actually unfold it and do that again. There we go. So you kind of have to putz with this part a little bit. Then I'm going to turn it over And then I'm going to cover up the back of that taco. So for this one, I'm going to put the adhesive, the glue all over the back. Does that make sense? I'm not putting it too close to the edge because when you do that with Tombow glue, then you have a hot mess. Now, they're not going to match up exactly because the leaves and the tomatoes, the lettuce and the tomatoes don't exactly match up, but you can't really tell, see, that they don't really match up well. So, but what that does is that's a cute back to the card. And then again, you're going to bend it like this and then kind of close it. And honestly, I should have bent that taco the opposite direction of my first taco so that it would have already been bent. But see what happens here? Isn't that cute? And you could do this with any stamp set. It certainly doesn't have to be a taco stamp set. Then, we're just going to position this on the inside of our card. And again, I'm going to use Tombow. And I'm only going to do one side at a time. So I'm going to do this side first. Glue all over tarnation. Did I say that? Liz, I don't even remember saying glue all over tarnation. That's sometimes when I'm on Facebook Live, things come out that I don't even realize I'm saying. Okay, so we're going to line this up. Now I'm going to line this up in the crease. It's going to be about equal distance from the top and the sides. So I know that doesn't show up the best on. And then I'm going to close this so that it's going to close easily again. So when you're doing this fold, you kind of have to keep checking your folds so that everything folds down. Now, this is not going to line up exactly in the crease. Can you see that? But it's going to be very close. Like it's probably less than 1/8 of an inch there. Then when you close it, you're going to, the back side of your card is already, not your back side, but the back side of your card is already glued down. Then we're going to just close this side. And then we have your card opening and popping up. There it is, you guys. See, it's super easy. There are a lot of different kind of pop-up cards out there. You know me, if I'm going to do something fancy fold-wise, it has to be pretty easy. So there you go. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much. All righty. If you enjoyed the video, please like and follow my page. Or if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to get a thumbs up. And I love all the hearts you're giving me. I would also love to see your creations. So if you make a pop-up card of any kind and you use this pattern, just message me or tag me or post it on either of my pages, either Create with Joey or my Create with Joey Stampers group. Let me get up here and get myself turned around so that I'm not upside down. There we go. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me. And don't forget, if you're not a newsletter subscriber, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter so you can get the PDF for this. And if you order this week, you'll get all the, through Sunday, that's good through Sunday of this week, the ordering special. So you'll get the parts for this card, all cut and die cut for you, and plus scrap paper for those two things. And if you order $50 more, you'll also get these dots. I'll send those to you as a thank you. Thanks again for watching. And next week we have week 4 of Celebrate Birthdays week. Yeah, week 4. We've got 3 more to go. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Take care. Oh, I was just going to check. Oh, hi, Kathy. Hi, Donna. I was just checking my comments. I forgot to check them. So Liz is saying maybe Piggy birthday. Yeah, birthday Piggy. I think that'd be super cute. And all right, don't think I missed anybody else. All right, thanks everybody. And if you're watching replay, please leave a comment. I always come back and check my comments, so please don't feel like the live is over, so you know my comments aren't going to matter. They do. They do matter, and I always come back and either answer a question or say hello back to you. Thanks again. Love you guys. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.